Hi there, hello and welcome to Money Tips. This is Charles Kelly on a glorious Sunday afternoon in London where the temperatures are, I got in my car, I think it was 34 degrees on my thermometer, but it's certainly over 30 degrees. And of course in London we have the carnival going on in Notting Hill where around 1 million people will be there today. And apparently the carnival brings in around 90 million in revenue, although it does cost 9 million to police, but it brings in a lot of trade and business into London. And it's bank holiday weekend, which means that tomorrow's a holiday. And I talked about that yesterday in that the stock market will be closed tomorrow, Monday, because of the holiday. And we were not sure how that might affect things after Friday's events, where the stock market fell over 600 points in America after Donald Trump sent 6 tweets, which dropped the stock market by 500 billion. And I worked out that's 83 billion per tweet. Is that a record? A loss of business, 83 billion per tweet. Donald Trump's 6 tweets. So that was what was happening on Friday, and then we talked last week about stamp duty, that it's not going to change. Stamp duty is a tax you pay in the UK when you buy a property, and it's a tax that you would pay as a buyer, and there was rumours that it might be changed so that the seller would pay the tax instead of the buyer. Hi to everyone tuning in on Facebook Live. Thank you for tuning in. And in the UK we have that tax, and it's been steadily rising and rising as property owners and particularly investors have been seen as an easy target by the government to raise money. So what do? They just slap tax on the buy-to-let investors and extra tax, extra stamp duty. So anyway, that's it. Hello there, Totep, I can't quite read that. Hi, I'm fine, thank you. And so that will not change just yet, but I think the Chancellor will be readjusting some of the thresholds for it, because at the moment it's very, at the top end, it's just so high that actually the revenue from it is going down, because the million plus properties are not selling as much because people are not wanting to pay this extra stamp duty. And even some first time buyers now paying £15,000-20,000 in stamp duty. It's just ridiculous. Okay, then we talked about Kylie Jenner, the first, or is heading to be the first self-made billionaire young lady, and she's barely just come out of her teens, and she's already on to working towards a billionaire. And she might be the youngest self-made billionaire lady, so we'll have to see what happens there. But her business started from a kitchen table. She owns the whole company. Now, in the news this weekend, Ryanair has come out bottom of the annual survey by Which. This is a survey rating the customer services of 100 popular UK brands. Now you might say, Ryanair customer service. What do you mean? What customer service? Well, yeah, that might be true, but the budget airline achieved a customer satisfaction score of only 45% out of 100, I expect, and that's not good. And it's the 6th year in a row that Ryanair has come last, and yet they don't seem to be doing anything about it. They don't seem to be worried about it, and in fact, their business seems to be just carrying on as normal, even going up. But they do get very bad press. They were the airline that wanted to bring in charges to use the toilets on board, maybe a pound coin or something like that, or a euro coin to use the toilets. It's just crazy. They toyed with the idea of standing only seats so they could cram more passengers in. They had this thing where they started charging people who were using wheelchairs to get on, to be taken on board. And at the time, my dad was in a wheelchair. And it doesn't. It's just one of those things that, what are you going to charge? £20? What difference? How much more money can you make? And it's just really bad PR. And things like saying to their staff, you're not allowed to charge your phone in the office. And they've had a lot of problems with their pilots. They've had strikes. I think there's going to be more strikes this year. So I think they need to change their tack a bit. They're making enough money, and they can be nice to people as well. Now, as it happens, I've flown with them. I haven't had any particular rudeness from them, but they are very abrupt because they're under pressure. They've got to get this plane lands. They've got to get it off the ground again in half an hour. So you're herded there like cattle. And I always pay extra to go on the speedy boarding type of thing. as I do with EasyJet, because I just don't like being herded like cattle. So it's not a nice one, but it is a budget airline. It is what it is, and you can't expect it to be like British Airways or Singapore Airline. So after Ryanair, actually Scottish Power came out, then BT, TalkTalk, and Virgin Media. And I've had trouble with Virgin Media. They just don't seem to answer their phone. They're a media organisation. They sell phones, they sell phone contracts, but they don't seem to answer the phone. How do you get through to Virgin Media? Do you know how you get through to Virgin Media? I'll give you one tip. You can tweet about them, and then they'll answer your Twitter feed and say, "Oh, hi, what's wrong?" Because that's public. But they won't answer the phone when you need something done or something goes wrong. And then if you do ever get through, they say, "Well, there's nothing wrong. I've tested the system and there's nothing wrong." So I don't like particularly dealing with Virgin Media. So Branson, get them to get their act together. And so that was it. The ones that come top, by the way, are the banking firm Direct Lines, part of HSBC, a kitchenware retailer, Lakeland, which I've never heard of, and supermarket chains, Marks and Spencers and Waitrose, and the bookseller Waterstones. Yeah, good for them. Obviously, Marks and Spencers and Waitrose charge more for their products, and they're under pressure from the likes of Lidl and Aldi, because they're you can buy for say £30 in Marks and Spencers, you might get a basket of stuff, but in Aldi you'd get a whole trolley of stuff, or Lidl you get a whole trolley of stuff in there. Now they claim it's better and all that sort of, but I don't know. It's just food to me. So there you go. And back to Ryanair. Pilots are looking to stage a 48-hour walkout this week, or a strike this week, due to pay conditions. I'd imagine their pay conditions are not the best, but there's a lot of people going to be away this weekend. They don't need the hassle of not getting back from their holidays by these summer strikes. I think it's just really annoying. And also I've found with Ryanair is that sometimes it's the only option, particularly going over towards Ireland, because they're an Irish-based company, Irish originally was from Ireland, and for some cities you can only take Ryanair often. So, and I think what they've done is sort of drive out the competition, and sometimes they've got a special deal on airports in certain European cities, and sometimes it's the only method of flying, so you haven't really got much choice. It is an online-based type of airline like EasyJet, so most of your stuff is done online. It's not easy to use Ryanair's online system, but it's okay. You get there in the end. But anyway, that's Ryanair, come out bottom in that survey. So that's the kind of roundup of the news this week. Obviously, the main story last week was the Trump story, because of the ongoing trade war between America and China. They're at the G7 conference this week in Biarritz in France, and maybe they'll sort things out there. But at the moment, it doesn't look great for the stock market and for the economy if America and China get into this big trade war. So that's all for now. Thanks for listening, and I hope you're having a great weekend. If you're in the UK, it's glorious weather. Wherever you are, just enjoy your week ahead. Thanks, and bye for now.